Hi viewers, welcome to my fourth video in our series of lectures on genetic resources and conservation. Today we are going to discuss about the CBD, that is Convention on Biological Diversity. This convention is very important because this was the first convention that recognized that biodiversity is not evenly distributed in the world. And this convention was presented during the Earth Summit. And Earth Summit is also known as United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. And this was held in Brazil in 1992. In this conference, three conventions was passed, and one of the convention was the Convention on Biological Diversity. Convention mean any set of rules and regulations that would agreed by the parties or that become prevalent or that become a custom. And this CBD was passed, or this was signed by 196 countries in 1992 during this Earth Summit, and this came into effect in 1993. Now, why the Convention on Biological Diversity was created? What was the need of this convention? As the population is growing, we need more food, and if we need more food, then it means that we have to increase the production of our food, or we need to preserve our future assets so that we can combat the needs of our future generations. So for this convention on biological diversity, which is also known as CBD, was presented, and this was agreed by the countries. And the main features of this biological diversity, the main features of this convention was of the conservation of biological diversity and the sustainable use of its components. So there were three objectives of this convention. The first objective was the conservation of biodiversity. The second was emphasizing on the sustainable use of the components of biodiversity. For the sustainable use, they promoted the collaboration between the different authorities and different corporations and the private sector, so that they all can work for the sustainable use of the biological diversity, and they should integrate the consideration of the conservation and sustainable use in the national decision making. So they should they should set some goals for themselves, and then they should try to achieve those goals. Their main focus should be the sustainable use of the components of biodiversity. And the third objective of the CBD was the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising out of the utilization of genetic resources. So in this objective, the main focus was on the appropriate access to the genetic resources, their appropriate transfer of technologies, and there should be appropriate funding that can promote this sharing and that can promote this transferring. And if they get any benefit from this sharing, then they have to share this benefit with the convention as well. And the benefits could be in the form of money, and they could be in the form of other benefits like some sort of trainings and some sort of workshops and the things like this. Next is the implementation mechanism of the CBD, how the CBD implement its goals and how the CBD implement its decisions. The CBD, they develop their strategies, and they develop their goals, and their goals are have different targets, and these targets they are further achieved by different organizations and different countries. They set these targets, and they make plans for them, and then they work for achieving these targets. So, what is the unique about this convention? The First of all, the framework of action for this convention is unique, and the decisions they are made at a national level, because this is the convention that recognizes that biodiversity is not equally distributed, and it emphasizes on benefit sharing as well. So here the flow chart shows the action mechanism and how the decisions are made for the CBD, for achieving the CBD goals. So the CBD, the Convention on Biological Diversity, set some goals for the upcoming years, and these goals, then the national governments are informed for these goals, and then national governments, they make some strategies and action plans for it, and these action plans are then these action plans are used to make some conservation, to take some conservation initiatives or to make the national laws or integration into other areas. And then these action plans, then they generate a report on these, on the basis of the results of these action plans and the strategies. And then these reports are submitted to the CBD, that how much successful the national government was in achieving those goals and what was their strategy to achieve that goal. So this was all about the CBD, and stay connected for my next videos that will be on plant genetic resources and the ITPGRFA. Up till then, goodbye.